This complex and intriguing narrative revolves around a drug deal gone terribly wrong, a common occurrence in the ruthless underworld where mistakes can have fatal consequences. At the heart of this developing story is the disappearance of Mohamed Azzaoui, better known as the Skull. The Skull, once a kind-hearted doorman, plunged into a life of crime that eventually led him into the perilous cocaine business. As this story is still unfolding, the details presented here may have been updated or changed by the time you encounter this account. Regardless, it provides a captivating depiction of underworld operations and the harsh repercussions of a single misstep. As always, your support through likes and subscriptions is greatly appreciated, as it fuels the continual exploration and delivery of such compelling narratives. Mohamed Azzaoui, known in the underworld as the Skull, is a 49-year-old father of 5, married to a renowned influencer. His journey into the dark realm of crime started innocently enough, as a doorman at various nightclubs, where he often was described as kind and good-hearted. His first notable criminal activity dates back to the 1990s, when he was involved in a truck robbery, which led to his arrest and subsequent community service sentence. Over the next 2 decades, Azzoui's criminal record expanded, most notably with multiple arrests for illegal cannabis cultivation in 2010. While these activities may seem trivial compared to other criminals, the stage was set for Azzoui's descent into more serious criminal enterprises, ultimately leading him to the treacherous world of the cocaine trade by 2023. As Azzaoui developed deeper into the underworld, he found himself involved in the cocaine business. His most significant task was to facilitate the safe delivery of an enormous shipment of cocaine, estimated to be worth 25 million euros. The deal was simple. A cargo of 1,200 kilos of coke, originating from Brazil, was to be delivered to a Serbian crime group. Azzaoui's role was to extract the cocaine from the containers at the Antwerp Euro terminal in the Vaasland haven and deliver it to the buyer. In exchange for his services, Azzaoui would retain 200 kilos of the shipment, while the Serbian group would receive the remaining 1,000 kilos. However, Azzaoui decided to outsource the task to a man known as King. This decision marked a turning point, setting off a series of events that would spiral out of control, landing Azzaoui in perilous waters. Following the outsourcing of the job to King, things went awry. While the cocaine extraction was successful, the delivery was botched. Instead of delivering the 1,000 kilos to the Serbian group as per the original agreement, King handed it over to a different contact known as Smiley. This left the Serbian group empty-handed and ignited a storm of trouble. The underworld has its own unique set of rules and expectations, and stealing such a significant amount of cocaine was bound to have severe consequences. The Serbian group, having been cheated out of a 25 million euro shipment, held Azzaoui responsible for the fiasco. Regardless of his decision to outsource the job, Azzaoui had taken the original deal and was therefore held accountable. This marked the beginning of a terrifying ordeal for Azzaoui. On the 22nd of February 2023, Azzaoui was scheduled to meet with a contact to discuss the missing shipment. Understandably nervous, he texted his brother expressing his fear. His worries proved well-founded when, on his arrival at a highway parking lot near Antwerp, he was abducted by masked men and forced into a black Volkswagen Golf R. His brother arrived just moments too late to intervene. The dramatic scene was witnessed by several bystanders who immediately alerted the Belgian police. The rental car was later found abandoned, and despite its subsequent seizure and forensic examination, the multitude of users made it challenging to identify meaningful DNA evidence. With the abduction, the story took a dark turn, and Azzaoui's fate hung in the balance. This marked the beginning of a real-life thriller with twists and turns reminiscent of a movie plot. In the days following Azzaoui's disappearance, a series of chilling photos and videos began to circulate within the underworld. These disturbing images, which eventually reached Belgian news outlets, showed Azzaoui handcuffed in a precarious situation. One video features Azzaoui explaining the botched deal and the roles of King and Smiley. Another image showed him with his hands under a towel, indicating he was still alive as of March 1st. However, after this date, there was a disturbing silence. Despite the horrifying nature of these images, they did provide some insight into Azzaoui's situation, including the suggestion that King and Smiley were the true culprits behind the stolen cocaine shipment. This revelation only added to the complexity of the case, and it cast a spotlight on the ruthless nature of the underworld. Following Azzaoui's startling revelations, the Serbian group was left with the daunting task of retrieving their missing cocaine shipment. In the underworld, a stolen shipment, especially one of such magnitude, is not taken lightly. The Serbian group was under immense pressure, not just due to the financial loss, but also the obligation to settle their debt with the South American supplier. They were compelled to take action, and their search focused on King and Smiley, the duo implicated by Azzaoui. Meanwhile, Azzaoui's initial fee of 200 kilos was returned, leaving 1,000 kilos unaccounted for. This frantic search led to several incidents in Belgium, including targeted attacks on individuals suspected of being associated with King and Smiley. These incidents further underscored the ruthless and unyielding nature of the underworld. The underworld's ruthless pursuit of justice manifested in a series of explosive attacks targeting those suspected of being connected to Smiley and King. On the 6th of March, a family identified as the B family was targeted. Their home and cars were damaged by explosives, causing a stir in their quiet neighborhood. Despite the clear message sent by these attacks, the family denied any involvement in the underworld or any connection to Smiley. However, conflicting reports suggested that one family member was frequently seen with Smiley. These attacks were being investigated by the police, who were finding it difficult to establish a direct link between these incidents and Azzaoui's situation due to a general unwillingness to talk. The situation was becoming increasingly complex, highlighting the intricate web of the connections and retaliations in the underworld. The story of Mohamed Azzaoui is a stark reminder of the dangers of involvement in the underworld. A former doorman turned criminal, his decision to venture into the cocaine business resulted in a series of unfortunate events that spiraled out of control. The lost shipment, the betrayal of King and Smiley, and the brutal accountability demanded by the Serbian group serve as a grim testament to the unforgiving nature of the underworld. It's clear that even a single mistake can have catastrophic consequences, regardless of one's family or personal circumstances. Azzaoui's current whereabouts remain unknown. His predicament is complicated not only by the Serbian group's anger over the lost shipment, but also because his videos incriminate the suspected thieves. The case is still ongoing, and its conclusions may further underscore the harsh realities of underworld dealings. As of writing this, the case of Mohamed Azzaoui is still unresolved. While his last known communication was a chilling video on the 1st of March, there is no concrete information on his current status. The police are pursuing several leads, including incidents of explosives near houses, but they are hampered by the underworld's code of silence. The Serbian group continues their relentless hunt for King, Smiley, and their missing cocaine shipment, resulting in an atmosphere of tension and fear. Questions regarding the family's B involvement and the real identities of King and Smiley remain unanswered. Despite the high-profile nature of the case, the lack of cooperation from key players and the complexity of the underworld's operation make the investigation challenging. Azzaoui's story remains an unfolding tale of a deal gone horribly wrong, leaving us with a haunting reminder of the harsh realities of the underworld. The public reaction to Mohamed Azzaoui's ordeal has been a mix of fascination, horror, and concern. The dissemination of his story through social media and news outlets has offered an unflinching look into the ruthless realities of the underworld, provoking widespread discussion. Many express sympathy for Azzaoui and his family, while others debate his decisions and their consequences. The event has also brought a renewed focus on the dangers of the drug trade and its societal impact, with calls for more effective law enforcement and drug policy reforms. Moreover, the disturbing images of Azzaoui and the violent retaliation against suspected associates of King and Smiley have underscored the urgent need for witness protection and cooperation in such investigations. As the case continues to unfold, it serves as a stark reminder of the far-reaching implications of organized crime on individuals and communities. The ongoing investigation into Mohamed Azzaoui's disappearance has highlighted the challenges faced by law enforcement in dealing with cases connected to the underworld. Authorities have been diligent in their pursuit of justice, conducting thorough investigations into the incidents linked to the case, such as the attacks on the B family. However, they are often stymied by the underworld's omerata of a code of silence, making it difficult to gather crucial information. The rental car used in Azzaoui's abduction, for example, has been thoroughly examined for potential DNA evidence, but the multitude of different users complicates the analysis. This case also underscores the importance of international collaboration given the transnational nature of the crime involving a Serbian group and a Brazilian cartel. As law enforcement agencies grapple with these hurdles, the Azzaoui case is a testament to the complexities of tracking underworld crime.